Hello there, my beautiful souls. My name's Hunter from Hunter's Healing Heart. I'm a health, wellness, and ascension coach, helping you rise towards your highest frequency, vibration, and truth. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about your perceptions and how they influence everything around you with your relationships, your vibrancy, your truth, your energy, and overall beliefs that you have with yourself, right? And so what needs to happen, guys, is, guys, and first, actually, there's a story, and this is when I was starting to learn more red pill content. For those of you that don't know, this is going on in some of the online communities for men to really understand women. And the reason why I think men are more so gravitating towards this, because men live a much different world than women. We have to face reality, and we have to have the approach of understanding women, because we don't have the luxury of women coming to us. We don't have the luxury of being pursued, so to speak. We have to put that energy, we have to put that time, and it's very competitive for dating, very competitive. So we're forced to learn female nature and an understanding if we want to get some of our needs met. So I remember learning this content. Keep in mind, guys, I had a lot of issues just growing up. Codependency, people pleasing. I didn't have healthy embodiments and figures for the masculine and the feminine in my life. So I was absolutely lost with dating. Plus, I didn't know who I was. But as I started reading some of this content, I went through almost like a dark night of the soul. Like, holy crap, I lived my life completely wrong. I was instilled the wrong programs, the wrong ideas, the wrong ideologies, and it hurt. It hurt so much. And then when I started viewing women, it was in a negative light, and there was a lot of pain in there, a lot of trauma that was going through my body. And my interactions with women weren't divine, they weren't sacred, they were very disempowering, because I was leading from that frame, right? And so, you guys, there's bad apples out there. There's unhealed men and women who are more so toxic, and ultimately you need to have an awareness of this stuff in terms of manipulation, in terms of abuse, in terms of cluster Bs, and how people show up, boundaries, and what a healthy form of love looks like, guys, because if you don't, you're gonna get played, and it's hurt, it's painful, but you can't lead with that. That can't be your default programming. It needs to be out of a place of sincerity, of love, of divinity, of connection, of respect. We're all brothers and sisters here. We need each other to really thrive and step into our highness, and we have to break the culture programming, guys. They are breaking us apart. They want us to hate each other. They want us to not need each other, so there's more power and control for them. And so what I saw that was so disheartening, there's some interviews on the street, and what they're showing is asking women, would you rather be in the woods alone with a man or with a bear? And almost all of them are choosing a bear, which will literally eat them alive. And it's disheartening that women's trust and respect for the men have gotten to that point. And how do you think they show up in relationships like that with some unhealed parts of themselves? It's going to be destructive, and it's not going to be open. And as a woman, guys, you can't be naive. You have to really recognize some of those patterns that we talked about, but you have to be able to let go. Let the man lead. Let him guide you, because he wants to. That's going to make him feel fulfilled. Trust his guidance. Trust his wisdom. Trust his lead. Be willing to surrender. That's going to create such a fulfilling dynamic for you. And then as man, you got to step into your truth. You got to step into your integrity and help guide your woman and help open her up, help her feel safe every single way, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, every single way. You have to make her feel safe. And that's how you show up for yourself, guys. That is being a man of integrity, being a man of God, honoring your word, being consistent, and being present, being truthful. Being truthful so she knows you're there and you're real. She doesn't have to second guess, guys. So going back to some of your projections, guys, it's not only what we're being fed as a society, right? And then those are the different pill movements, red pill, MTOW, you have feminism, but ultimately, guys, they're not about union or your equilibrium. they're about division. So what you need to do is start filling your mind with great examples, really healthy, embodied men and women who are radiating love and connection and divinity. That's what you primarily have to focus on. All that other stuff, guys, just let go. You don't need to fill it. You don't need that in your brain. You don't need that paradigm approaching relationships. So you have the external, right? But now, guys, you have to start honoring your internal programmings. And a lot of this, guys, is breaking apart your own masculine energy and your relationship to the masculine in terms of brothers, in terms of your father, in terms of your relationship in your masculinity. But then you have the relationship with your femininity, guys. Relationship to fellow women in your life, the relationship to your sister, towards your mother. And these need to be in a high integrity, high truth, guys, because it's embodied and it's pivotal in all the other relationships. So you need to start emulating feeling safe in that energy and being balanced, because that's what embodiment is about, right? So you have your own internal energies, your relationship within the masculine, within the feminine. I gotta switch hands here because I'm holding my phone. But you also have your previous relationships and various woundings and traumas within there. And this is more so gonna be like toxic relationships. And that has to do with two parts, guys, right? Because you might have allowed certain behaviors, you didn't stand your ground. There's a lot of pain and resentment comes up, right? Pain from that experience, pain from that moment. And being more angry, more bitter, wishing things were different, ruminating about it does absolutely nothing. It keeps that wounding alive. And so when you're starting to approach people, you're gonna close your heart, you're gonna have your shields up because of that. And you're not gonna be open to love. You're gonna push it away, you're gonna self-sabotage it when it comes up, guys. And so what needs to happen is when those memories come up, when they surface, you have to, one, start with yourself, right? Forgive yourself. You did the best that you could with what you knew and the knowledge you had. And you have to love yourself, guys. In the healing journey, in every single realm, it's all revolving around love. If you are not radiating the highest love, compassion, and beauty, it's a disservice. You're not going to push it down. You're not going to fight against it, because then you're just pushing it further down. You have to love it, guys, no matter how messed up it is, no matter what chaos ensued, no matter how much you sacrificed your boundaries, sacrificed your standards, you have to love it, because then you could start working with it and you're accepting it. And also do that for the other person, guys. Most people are not intentionally trying to hurt you. And keep in mind, yeah, a very small percentage are messed up in the head. They have cluster Bs or narcissists. So then they are doing it intentionally, but most people are not. And with that, being reflected where you're weak, where you weren't in integrity is such a gift, guys, because it shows areas of your consciousness, of your being, that you need to work on, that you need to take ownership of, and that you need to heal. So if you get triggered, you're off-centered, conflict comes up, it shows you areas that are weak. It's a blessing, guys, because now it's like, okay, I have more work to do there. And so then you put in the work with affirmations, with programmings, new knowledge, integrations, and then you're gonna overcome that. You're gonna overcome that, guys. You're gonna overcome that, and that is going to create ripples in the future. And you have to forgive them, guys, because holding on to it, building that resentment, holding on to that pain is a massive disservice. It's taking you out of the now. It's keeping you closed and limited to future people who will love you fully for just who you are on a soul level. But you have to give them that opportunity. If you're closed off, pushing them away, 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door, it's very hard for someone to get close to you. And ultimately, everyone suffers. You suffer as an individual, and the person trying to love you suffers because you're inflicting your pain, your wounding onto them. And it's likely, unless they're conscious, they're gonna pass it on. So you're creating a very destructive ripple in our society with love, with connection, with respect, with union, with integrity. So the moral of the story is, guys, heal, do your inner work, embrace the fullness of who you are, be very vigilant of how you're approaching relationships, and make sure it's out of love, make sure it's out of respect, the highest integrity, and everything will flourish, guys. Everything will flourish, and you are embracing connection. I do offer one-on-one coaching, guys, for you to step into your fullness, step into your vibrancy, help work on your disempowerments, areas you're out of alignment that are creating wounds in your life. And then we reframe it. I'll put good stuff in the system, hold you accountable with actionable steps to fulfill your soul, fill your heart, and step into your fullest truth. Always choose your light and empowerment. Blessings.